Hey all, Tony Bing here. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now, I can't actually say that without a laugh anymore after all the interest I got since dropping that intro. Now, tonight anyway, we will be having a look at Miss Marvel for our in-depth review. In the video, we'll start off with the overview, so that includes how you unlock her, also our tags, that's relevant as to the heroes you can team her up with. We'll then have a look at our stats. Next up it's the abilities, and they're certainly very interesting. We then have the synergies, there's actually quite a lot going on here, and then finally we see where she places in the newly revamped tier list. So let's start off with the general overview. With the release of Miss Marvel then, we have another very interesting hybrid character. One of the first ones we got was Groot, because he's more of a protector stroke support class, whereas Miss Marvel is more protector stroke brawler class. Now if we look at the tags she's got, it's Hero, Global, Bio, Brawler. Brawler is the exceptionally important one when we look at her kit, and also she has the Inhuman tag. For now it's only Quake that buffs that, and it's a small buff to Focus, which is pretty useless on her, but I'm sure in time with Black Bolt and Medusa and so on that will become a lot more important. Now in regards to unlocking her, we had the offer to unlock her at 1 star, so it was awesome to see that. That was £15, so I bought that today actually, but we will be getting an event, and I believe it actually goes live tomorrow, or if you're in the US, I believe it's 5 PM tonight, that event goes live, so keep an eye out for that, and hopefully it will be as generous as the Scarlet Witch event will be, because I managed to get 4 star relatively easy in that. But that's the general overview, so let's now have a look at her stats. Offensive wise, she actually does really pretty good here. She's got really nice high damage, that's way up at B. Our speed is 102, so that's C now. That is middle of the road, but it's not necessarily a bad thing, because as mentioned a moment ago, Miss Marvel is more of a brawler stroke protector class. You don't want her to be too fast, because if she is too fast, when she throws up her taunt, then it won't last as long, so 102 just seems perfect for her. You've then got her focus, it's way down at F, exceptionally low focus, but she's not applying any kind of debuffs or doing any kind of cleanse, so it's irrelevant that this stat is so low. Now also from an offensive perspective, this makes up a massive part of her kit. She's got an assist, but this is assist with a twist. It's Hero, Brawler, assist she has. It's something we'll look at a lot more when we get to the abilities, but this really helps her out from an offensive perspective, it really does. Now next up, let's have a look at the defensive stats. When we look at her defensive stats, she actually does really pretty great here as well. Now when we look at her health, it's an A rating and it's way up there at 94,000 health, and you've got her armour and resistance, they are lower. The armour's down at E, the resistance is C. This will be to balance out the fact she's got such a high health pool, because along with her health pool she actually has the ability to very frequently apply deflect to herself. So deflect, because this is a new buff, just remind you what it does. This is a guaranteed block, so it does take into account your armour, and then it takes the amount of damage off the incoming attack. Now she also has a self heal, and it really is incredible, this self heal. I've seen her go from about a third of her health all the way back up to full, and just doing some very quick maths here with this heal, which is on her special attack, she can heal when it's maxed out in the region for 65,000 health. That's right, 65,000 health. Really is pretty amazing there. Now with the stats covered, let's have a look at these abilities. For the abilities here then, we have 4 in total to look at. It's the basic, special, ultimate and also the passive. Now when I talk about each of them, I'll show off the tooltip maxed out. So that's level 7 for active skills, level 5 for passive skills. The information that I'm getting is from msf.gg, but what I'll do as well is I'll let you know how high you want to level each of these particular skills. Now the first one we'll look at anyway, this is a passive. This is fantastic, it's Fangirl. So with this you gain assist now on each hero, brawler, ally's turn. We'll actually look at the characters you can use for that later on in the video when we get to synergies. Also with this, on turn you grant assist now to a random hero, brawler, ally, and when a hero ally drops below 50% health you gain taunt, and that's where the protector aspect of our kit comes in. And also with this, if that ally is a brawler, you also gain 2 stacks of deflect as well, so that's really fantastic. Now for each level of this you upgrade it, you actually get an additional 20% chance for that assist on the hero brawler ally's turn and also on your turn as well. So I would say that you want to max this particular one out as soon as we can do that. At the moment we can only take it to level 4, which gives us the 80% chance, which is pretty great, but in time you want to take this to level 5 for that 100% chance there. For the basic, we have a pretty simple skill here, but one that will be proccing very often due to how our passive works. Now, this is called Big Bash. With this, you attack the primary target for 200% damage, and you also gain deflect. Now, you do gain deflect on an assist, so that's fantastic. She'll have it up most of the time, but she will only get 1 stack of this. It'd probably be too powerful if she got it on every assist. That would be up to 4 stacks of deflect every turn, which would really be pretty insane there. Now I will also mention the fact that with this, when you get an assist attack, you actually do 50% of your normal damage. So this means if you team it up with 4 other hero brawlers, for example, you'll be doing 4 additional attacks, and that would be an additional 400% damage. Really pretty amazing. Now, due to how often you will be proccing this particular skill, I would say you want to take this one all the way up to level 7. For the special, we have this awesome heal we were talking about a moment ago. So this particular skill anyway, it's called Rejuvenate. It's 5 turn to charge, comes with 3 charges in it, so you can use it a few turns into the match. When you use this, you heal self for a whopping 20,000 health and 50% of this character's max health. So just to remind you, when she's fully maxed out, that would be in the region of 65,000 health you would be healing with this. Really insane. Also with this, if you actually use it when you're below 50% health, you also gain slow. And this does seem a bit odd, but there is a reason for this, although it can be quite difficult to use in the right situation. So the way this would work is you have another hero brawler ally. Their health drops below 50%. What Miss Marvel would then do is she would taunt, she would take a huge amount of damage. On her next turn, she would heal and get her health back up. But what would also happen is if her health is low and she's getting this slow, the taunt is actually dropping off on this turn, and she's getting the slow but she no longer has the taunt, so she would have to rely on another hero brawler ally dropping below 50% to get the taunt up while the slow is up. There a way potentially around it. I don't know if they maybe changed it to 2 turns of slow or something along the lines of that. It could maybe work a bit better because you'll still be getting a ton of damage from all the assists. So it's still a very nice skill, but it can be quite difficult to use, and it's also quite difficult to explain, and I hope what I ran over there made at least some semblance of sense there. Now when it comes to how high you want to rank this one, I would say take it up to level 6, because the only real difference is that your self heal, the 20,000, drops down to 17,000 there, so in total you'll still be healing maxed out for 62,000 health there, and then you can save your materials for other skills. So level 6 for this particular one. For the ultimate, we have an ability called Embiggen. Now it's 5 turns to charge and it comes fully charged, so you will want to be using this at the start of the fights. Preferably you use it after the likes of Spider-Man, who's put defense up on a lot of characters, and it can really hit for a nice amount along for base damage. So with this anyway, you attack all enemies for 220% damage, and you have a 60% chance to generate 1 ability energy per target hit. And that ability energy is granted to random hero allies. It doesn't have to be the brawler class, it can be any hero ally that will actually apply to. Now in the testing I've done today, the way this appears to work is that the 60% chance looks like it will calculate per enemy, and what I mean by that is, let's say you're going up against 5 or 10 different enemies and you hit, and this procs, it wouldn't then give you 10 energy to everyone. It looks like it's got the 60% chance that it will calculate for each of the allies it will hit, meaning there could be 5 enemies on screen and you could get anywhere from between 5 and actually 0 energy generating, and I've seen multiple stacks of energy go to the same character as well. So there's a lot of RNG in this, but it can be really nice. Now in regards to how high you want to take it, it's at level 7 that you get the 60% chance to generate 1 ability energy. Before that it's only a 40% chance, so this is another skill that you will want to be maxed out, so you'll take this one all the way up to level 7. Now with the abilities covered, let's have a look at her synergies. When it comes to allies she can work well with, like the last hero we covered, Scarlet Witch, there's actually a lot of options here, and this is really great because it shows that they're making characters a lot more diverse and they can work with a lot of different teams. But the first setup we'll look at here, this is all about the brawler heroes. So a great combination is Deadpool and Spider-Man. The reason being, Spider-Man will apply the defense down on the first turn, and then Deadpool and also Miss Marvel will go afterwards, both with AoE, so that can be really potent. You've then got out the remaining brawler classes. I would say Gamora, Black Panther and Daredevil are good. Now the reason they're so good is they've got the really high attack speed, so the more attacks they're doing, then the more assists in turn Miss Marvel will be able to carry out as well. Now along the lines of that, if you pair her up with Black Widow, you throw her in there for the speed up, you could even use Merc Lieutenant I suppose, then that will mean more attacks for your brawlers and more assists as well. That's a really nice combination. Now another combo that could work really nice could be with Scarlet Witch. This is a bit of a more obscure one, but due to the huge health pool that she has and the fact she can regenerate so much of it in one go, and Scarlet Witch can redistribute the health between allies as one of her skills, that could work out pretty nice. Next up we have Shield Trooper. I think it's the first time I've ever featured this character in the allies section or even talked about them in an in-depth review. The reason they could be useful is when an adjacent target is hit, they'll actually counter attack. So with Miss Marvel getting the taunt every time an ally drops below 50% health, in certain situations you could be taunting pretty frequently, and it means this character could be counter attacking pretty frequently as well, so that could be nice. Finally, we have the combination of Luke Cage, Daredevil and Iron Fist. Now the reason I'm quite interested in this combination is that I feel when you're running Miss Marvel, she could benefit from an off-tank character, and Luke Cage without a doubt is an off-tank, and that's due to the fact his taunt and his defense up are separate skills, so you can't use them both at once. You want to use him to supplement another tank character, so that can work really nice. He can give the defense up to your team, and then you've got the combination of Daredevil and Iron Fist, who are hero brawlers getting assists, but also they will boost Luke Cage's health up as well. So that's a team combo that I need to level up the characters a bit more to play about with, but I'm very interested in that, and I'm sure it's only going to get better once we get the improvements to the defenders characters as well. But that's the allies that you want to team her up with. Let's now have a look at the enemies you want to avoid. When we look at characters that could give her a bit of trouble here, the first three we have are Mordo, Winter Soldier and Korath. Now what they have in common is the fact they all have heal block there, so that could prevent that huge 65,000 health heal that she does have. You've then got Deadpool. Now he can be dangerous because with Miss Marvel, when a hero ally drops below 50% health, she'll step in and protect them, but Deadpool can actually ignore that taunt, and the chances are with them having only 50% health and how hard his attack that ignores taunt hits, he will take that other character out. Next up we have Hand Sentry. Now he's actually faster than Miss Marvel, so what he can do is put up all those stacks of evade and the stealth before she can fire off the ultimate, meaning she'll miss all the allies, meaning there's no turn for her to actually generate energy, unless of course she gets lucky and gets that one hit on Hand Sentry, but there's less chance for that to happen there. Now with the enemies and allies covered, let's have a look and see where she places on the tier list. So when it comes to placing Miss Marvel on the tier list, I'm really pretty happy that I actually upgraded my tier list and added in the synergies section, because it is massively important to her kit. Now if we quickly run over her kit again, she's got the pretty simple basic, but the basic will be happening a lot if you team her up with brawler hero allies, and it's also got the deflect on it, so that's really nice. You've got that absolutely whopping heal. I'm not going to tell you how much it heals for because I've already mentioned it about 5 times here. You've got the slow on the special as well, but it really can be quite difficult to use. That's something that pulls it down a little bit, and that sometimes it will actually proc when you don't want it to happen and she's no longer got the taunt on herself. The ultimate is really nice. There's a lot of RNG in it, but that's understandable given the fact that it appears to actually take the percentage chance on each enemy it hits and calculate it per time. And then finally you've got that absolutely incredible passive. Now if we were to actually look at it as a straight brawler class, so we're not including all the assists she gets if she wasn't teamed up with brawler hero allies, then she's got the deflect on her basic, she's got the nice heal, and she's got the pretty useful ultimate, but it does have a large amount of RNG in it. So on the basis of that, I would say that she would be a level 3 character, but this is going back to why I'm happy that I've updated the format. You'll see that she would be a high level 3 character, but she's actually got as many as 3 of the plus symbols there, meaning with synergies I would actually place her as a high alpha character, because all those assists she's firing off and the fact she's getting the deflect up on them as well, and then that taunt, it really can be pretty fantastic. But she does require a really specific team setup in order to shine there. So if you don't have brawler, hero, allies yourself, then you may want to hold off because you won't be making the most of her. But if you've got the likes of Spidey or Deadpool, I would say jump in there and get farming her and get enjoying all those attacks she'll be flinging all over the screen with those huge fists. So as always, let me know in the comments below if you've unlocked her, what you think of her. Let me know, as you always do, what you think of the tier rating with the new setup, and thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all again soon.